Hey everyone, it's Chris over at Springs Law Group, and today I wanted to talk about what are your chances of winning your personal injury case without a lawyer. And so a lot of times we'll get asked whether or not people come to us and they're like, do I actually need an attorney to do my case? And I want to kind of take it from a couple different approaches. So what does your case look like without a lawyer? And then what does it look like with one? And then lastly, I want to talk about what does a win look like? And so first you decide to run your accident case or your injury case without a lawyer. I think about it like this. Years ago, I had an issue with my car and my starter went out. And so I decided to change it myself and not go to a professional to have it changed. And so what I did then is I ended up, kind of looking through the manual to figure it out, and then going to the auto store once, twice, 3 times that day. And then it probably took me anywhere between 6 to 8 hours and took up a whole Sunday to get that starter changed. Where, and it definitely was cheaper, but it cost a lot of time. And then I was ultimately able to replace the starter. Same thing here is if you decide to do your personal injury case, there's a lot of information online on what you can do and how you can do things and how you can do it, kind of DIY or on your own. But I also think about it if if to go back to that auto example, if I would have just gone to the auto mechanic, they would have had that done, within an hour or so, and then I would have paid, and then I would have had my car back ready to go, and also would have had a whole Sunday just to do the things I wanted to do that day. So without a lawyer, you can definitely do it on your own. But the things to ask yourself is, one is, are you comfortable doing it on your own? Kind of doing the research, things like that. Number two is that you also have an emotional component, that you have attached to the accident itself, and an expectation there. The attorney can remove themselves from that and talk, and kind of have an outsider's view on how to actually make the case flow in that sense. And so, in a different perspective, that can be very, very helpful. The other thing is then kind of knowing the game and how it works. So back to that auto example, an auto mechanic that does this day in and day out understands how to do those things, what exact tools to use and things like that, just like that here with an attorney. And then also to the idea then of communicating and talking to, insurance companies and things like that, providing, medical records and bills. It's one of those things too, where if you don't know the right things to say, you could actually end up saying the wrong thing. And so that's why it can be very helpful to actually have an attorney there too. And so can you do a case without an attorney? Absolutely. The next question is, can you actually win without an attorney? I think possibly. It all depends on how your expectations are set. You have to clearly define what a win looks like for you. Is that paying your medical bills? Is it not paying an attorney at all? Is it, you doing it all on your own because you're, and being okay with that? One of the things for me personally is in my life is time has a lot of value to it. So deciding how much time you actually want to spend on, doing research, dealing with the case and doing things like that is something that I would think about as well. So really clearly try to define what a win looks like. And if you're at a spot where you're okay going, I can take a certain amount of money, I can, as long as my medicals are paid, and then I, can get up and walk out with a little bit in hand, then I'll be fine with that as long as I do all the research and then I can keep everything there in house. But again, some people are like, I don't know this isn't my area of law. So it's one of those things for me too, where I could just, I could kind of move forward with that in that sense. So that's what I wanted to touch on today is it possible, are there chances? I can't really give you a percentage chance because I don't know what the win looks like. And then also, is it possible to actually get a win without an attorney? The answer is yes, but, and that's because at the end of the day, it's possible and likely that you're going to get a much better outcome with an attorney that does this day in and day out, that can ultimately, kind of guide you, help you out emotionally, tell you, kind of how the process works and things like that, and relieve a lot of stress and tension off you as well. And so it's good to have that person in your corner. I think about that too, as I've been to, many gyms and fitness centers. There's a ton of information out there online on how to get fit. But I can tell you some of my best results have always been whenever I've worked with an accountability coach or a trainer and work with them closely. Why? Because they do this stuff day in and day out and really have an understanding on how to do that. And you need that person too that can also hold you accountable, so that's the thing too, where a lawyer can help you out as well in your case. So that's the thought for today. Hope everybody is having a good day, and we will talk to you all later. Bye now.